lot of people misunderstand about the sport of fishing is that after a while, it becomes a lifestyle. Well, the first day that we went out there was actually on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. But yeah, so we went out there the first day on a Tuesday, and at that point we really hadn't heard back yet about having official permission to go out there. So we were kind of on the fence to begin with, but we went ahead and crossed on over, went in there anyway, and check this place out, which we knew was going to be a really badass spot to fish.
So we pull up the pond, and it was awesome looking. I was so stoked. I was just like, yes, I don't even care about this project. Let's just start fishing. You know what I'm saying? So we bust out the rods and we just start casting. Sure enough, Alex, man, throws his first cast out. Boom, hit a nice looking bass.
Pat must have been laughing because I mean I was over there making all kinds of noises, seeing these fish emerge out of the depths coming after these lures. And I mean, first cast and I hooked up on a fish right away, so we knew we just needed to start getting that camera gear set up and get rolling with this thing. It was an awesome spot to fish, and it was right at dark, so the plus side is those topwater lures were working phenomenal back there. There was all kinds of fish stacked up in this little shallow area that we found, and before I knew it, we were slamming fish on top of the water.
It wasn't your perfect sunny day, and we did make the mistake of not bringing any lights out there with us. We thought we'd get away with it, and it definitely presented me with a challenge. It definitely forced me to adapt my skill level to something I've never done, which was filming in low light with no sort of light other than what was coming from the sky.
Yeah, the second day was really awesome because we actually had a little bit more sunlight, and so we knew we needed to get the GoPros out and go for this idea that we had, which was to drop that GoPro underwater right by that dock and see if we couldn't at least get some of those fish to chase it, because it was so cool looking the first day out there.
Went back later on and watched the footage. You could see all these bass just swimming around, and you just see that lure just hitting, and they're feeling it out. They're looking at it. You know, you could tell they're definitely interested.
Sure enough, I started working that lure long enough, and I got a couple hard hits on some fish all of a sudden, and it was pretty cool. And we definitely captured a little bit of stuff off of. We definitely captured some good footage with that effort. So Thursday ended up being kind of a downer day for us though, because we were having an awesome day to begin with. We got all that awesome GoPro footage and the weather was nice, but then all of a sudden I checked my email, and what do you know, I got an email from the landowner, and for one reason or another he just did not want us being out there.
So day 3, I roll over to Alex's house. We're like, all right, let's regroup. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can make happen here. We actually got to utilize the slider on that day, which was really cool. It was my first time using the slider, so not much experience with it, but I think it was pretty easy to use, and man, we got some great shots.
It allowed us to capture some neat aspects of this whole lifestyle, which is, a lot of, taking care and organizing your gear, making sure that you are prepared to go out there and hopefully not lose any fish. We had some issues a couple times, which was good for the video, but we definitely lost a few fish, and so it's kind of cool to capture some really neat stuff out in the garage, working on lures, and just a quick little recap of what it is to get ready to go fishing. Yeah, day 4 was interesting, to say the least. But you have to know first off that I didn't just give up so easily on giving up on our trophy bass pond that we were getting to fish. He actually, you know, he emailed me back and told me they had another pond on a newly bought piece of property, and he hadn't really fished it, and he told me that it was like 3 acres big whenever it was full, and since it had a lot of rain, he thought it was full, and so immediately we were very interested because that's about how big the other pond was we were at. So we thought we had a really good chance at maybe getting to score on a new piece of property that nobody had even been fishing before.
We went out to Sisterdale and we did some bait fishing by the river. We got some really cool shots. Unfortunately, there was a speck on the lens, so some of the shots have this nice little black dot right where everybody can see it. Of course, you know, of course that happens to me, but hey, you live and you learn. Next time I know, clean the lenses before you go out. Let's head out to Castroville. Let's go fish this new pond. That was a fun drive out there, you know, having a good time. As soon as we get out to that pond though, we're just, I mean, as soon as we pull up, we know, fuck, this thing looks like we're not gonna have a good time.
And it ended up being a really big disappointment because this area was just overgrown. The water was flooded out beyond the banks that you couldn't even get close enough to cast your line in. So we knew it wasn't gonna work out, and the only thing there was left to do was to just get out of there and go see if there's somewhere else we could maybe drop a line in the water. And you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. And once again, you know, you gotta be flexible. And you know, we are outdoorsmen. That's what we do. We find some other way to enjoy being outside. So it was awesome still. We got to go back, go to a similar area on the river where we caught the bait and dropped some line in. I actually caught a catfish. I didn't think we were gonna catch anything, but I ended up pulling a little catfish out of the water, and you know, it was a good ending to the day. Bud Lake. So that day, yeah, we met up with Danny too. First we went, you know, of course we had to watch the Spurs game. We knew we had to get out there and fish and hopefully redeem our day because it was just kind of in the shitter at that point already. So, but you know, we had good bait though, and we were excited. You know, Pat was gonna get to see yet another new lake, and so we went out there, and it's really kind of a cool area. There's a big dam out there, and you have to walk out on that dam to get to the spot. So it's kind of a scenic spot for being in the middle of town.
So day 5 ends, you know, kind of disappointing again. Day 6, you know, Alex tells me about this neighborhood pond he knows of by his house. And I love fishing neighborhood ponds. You know, back in Houston where I'm from, we got a lot of neighborhood ponds, and me and my buddies out there, we go fish them all times a day, and we usually catch, you know, maybe not the biggest bass, but we'll catch a good stock of bass, you know. And
so we went over there and checked it out actually on Tuesday afternoon when we were able to slip out of class, and the water was up, you know, but at the same time it had been a couple days since the rain, and the water was definitely clearing up a little bit, and we had some live bait still from the day before, and we knew we just needed to get out there and just try it because odds we were feeling pretty good about our odds for catching some fish. And sure enough, you know, it didn't take long and I started having some real good action out there. Caught a number of fish, caught a real nice, probably 3.5 pound bass, and so that, you know, it was kind of tickling to get something like that after having so much struggle just to get one fish landed in the last few days. So, I mean, that was awesome.
You know, I really had to test myself on this project because I don't usually operate the camera that much, but I think it worked out really great. I think both Alex and I put a whole lot of effort into this, and I think it's really going to show. I think y'all are going to enjoy this video. You know, and it's good to work with somebody that doesn't quit on you, that isn't going to give up when things get tough. You know, so it's definitely was a good experience.
Don't just take the easy way out. You know, you learn that when you're fishing sometimes. And you know, we kind of experienced some of that. You know, we took this project on with like 2 weeks left, and it was because our backs were against the wall. And I think me and Pat did good. You know, we really worked together, just a two-man crew, a lot of days. We just talked about 7 days. And we're gonna feel good about the outcome no matter what, because, you know we put a lot of effort in, you know, these last few days. And at the bottom of it all, we definitely had a lot of fun. You know, we didn't let ourselves stress too much. We didn't throw any titty fits whenever things didn't go our way. And I think we're gonna have something to show for it at the end of it, so.